Welcome back to another edition of F1 2016 Season 2. You're probably wondering where Malaysia and USA are. Well, Malaysia was taken out on the grid, disqualified straight away because of a loud start. And then in the USA, someone deliberately waited and took me out. So he is now banned from the league. And it was really unfortunate. It wasn't worth making a video really, because I think we even got 10 laps in before he decided to wait and just take me out of the race. So, oh well. Anyway, this is Mexico. Not one of my favourite tracks. I don't struggle to think of anyone who actually likes this track. But on the quali lap here, meant to qualify on softs, bottled that. And now on the supers, and it just seems that we're really uncomfortable. Didn't put a lot of practice in because I was falling asleep when I was trying to fucking practice because this track is just so dull. Anyway, this qualifying lap is, you know, it's an average first sector. Now so far it's been a poor middle. Now look, we're just dropping time to a lap time we did on 2 lap old supers, so it's really pathetic. Into the last sector now, brake too early, and it's just abysmal. It's really just such a poor lap, and then cut back here, get unsettled by this one, big kick of oversteer, unsettled again, turned in too early, and needs to run wide, and then a poor exit. Means we've done a 17.6. Yeah, it was 17 flat is easily done, so unfortunately Kyle got a penalty through this game being shit, so unfortunately that's just the way it is. So it's me, Spike and TJ on the top 3, so lights out, away we go. Get a really good start actually. TJ gets a bit of a lightning one, so I've moved to the right to cover him because he's clearly faster and he will take the lead, and at this point TJ is just about to lead the race, just about, but managed to stay in first actually and brake later than them all in turn 1, almost got off the track, but I think it was necessary to just put myself out of the way of them, out of the chasing pack. And they've had a bit of a slow exit there to just pull the small gap, because it's such a tight sequence of corners, those first 3, it's so easy to make contact that everyone's a bit nervous, and you know, understandable because it's just a shit track. Anyway, nothing else happened for the end of lap 1. This is lap 2 now. Fonte retires and get a safety car. Again, this just puts everyone in the same boat because most of us are on the super softs. And I'm gonna get held for days. I think I'm gonna get held here, but no, I'm not. Not too bad. We're all meant to sort of be in the same boat, but of course the guys who started on the harder tyres are now towards the front. So Maze is in front of us, as you can see. But Spike hasn't pitted, so yeah, Spike is still on these super softs from quali. He hasn't pitted. So I think it's because Tractor pitted on the same lap, and he just didn't want to get held up. So we'll see how that plays out. On this restart now, very nervous on the exit there. It's our first racing lap on these tyres. We don't have slipstream, as you can see, but I think they're running slightly less wings than other people. So no slipstream because you can see 220 there, and we're still doing 220 towards the end of the race. So just outbreak Maze there, and ET takes a slightly wider line, and wow. Oh, essentially what happened there is ET just went slightly on, well, just took a different racing line, and I got caught out. So it's completely my fault, 100%, me being an absolute fucking douchebag and just crashing into ET and ruining his race. Felt like an absolute dick. You could hear me, you know, I didn't scream or anything because I knew I'm just a knob for doing that. It's just caught me right out. It wasn't his fault at all. In the slipstream of GOAT, but we're not in the slipstream, we're just running low wings. As you can see, we're slower than the time before. Running low wings makes us look like we have slipstream, but I can tell you that we definitely do not. Catching up back up to ET now because luckily I didn't get damage. So, you know, we're back on the end of the pack, but you can see there's a gap in front of ET as well. Into this shit middle sector. And at this point, it's trying to calm myself down and say, you know, it's not all over, just keep plugging away and we'll see what happens. ET moves out the way, I don't know why he did, he's on the soft tyres and, you know, he had no reason to, but that was kind of him anyway. And then another safety car, but interesting with that safety car, no one retired, no one did anything, no one left or anything, you know, over a minute before it. You know, nothing happened, it just came out randomly, so it's just stupid game. So here we go. I think it's Paul at the front of the pack now. controlling the speed. I think that's Kyle on his outside, or Crazy. I think it might be Crazy. Tractor man behind me. Here we go into the final corner now, trying to look for a good exit. Turned in a little bit early because I followed TJ, who turned in early himself. Big kick of oversteer there. But again, we're running less wings than these guys, so we should really be able to pull in front. And it's just close. As you see, there's no slipstream. So it really, there we go. TJ's got slipstream, look, because he's pulling back ahead. Into turn 1 now, we're trying to give TJ as much room as possible. He's doing the same for us. Very much appreciated. And we got through there cleanly, held a position, so nothing gained. Tractor man is very close though, so I got to keep an eye out for him. I've covered us slightly into here, which because he, you know, more than could easily do a lunge. Into this middle sector now. There again, it's sort of just one line of stern, top to tail. No real overtaking opportunities now. Just got to stick with them until the last sector. Again, there's multiple lines through these corners, but you can't really overtake anyone through them. But look at the run Tractor man had through that last one. He's done very well there, and he's ahead at this point, so I'm entitled to leave him room. So I've left him room, and he's made a fantastic move there, actually. So, very well done to him. And at this point, Spike and TJ are just, you know, getting a bit side by side and slowing each other down. And Tractor man looks to go up the inside of TJ, and I think TJ just gets a slight bit of oversteer, and that's enough. Like, smallest contact like that can put someone in the wall, and that's...
Oh, dearie me.
Tractor man out of the race. I know it wasn't deliberate because I saw the footage of it afterwards, and TJ, you know, at this point TJ retired himself because he didn't realise what had happened until, there we go, just there, he realised what's happened and moved it away, but puts us off a little bit. Had to sort of Mario Kart it a bit to try and get round him, and puts Kyle right on the back of us. We lost about a second to Spike. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. And Tractor man needed to finish ahead of me this race by about, you know, a good 10 points or so to keep his championship hopes alive. But at this point, lap 16, Spike and Crazy are doing battle in this middle sector, allows me to close up a little bit. But nothing really comes of it, so lap 17, same sort of thing. Crazy and Spike go to turn 1, slight bit of contact made there. And we're looking just to pick up the scraps, really. But again, Spike recovers really well. Yes, we get DRS, but without slipstream, we're not really going to get anywhere. And Spike has slipstream on Crazy, because as you can see, he's pulling away from me without the DRS. Whoa, that was close. Chilly voice shot there. I guess Spike just didn't see me coming. I wasn't trying to move, I just broke at my normal point. And it happens, these things happen. Luckily, no contact, just avoided it really quickly, and it was all good. But I think Spike is just out of rhythm right now. I think we're on the same age of tyre, but he's just slightly out of rhythm with the contact with Crazy. So I've run wide a little bit there. As you can see, I've not gained anything from it, so it's all good. Coming into this last sector now, just trying to position myself to possibly make something of these two moves. These two guys in front. I know that I don't have slipstream, so I'm not going to be able to overtake both. And I think Spike has slipstream on Crazy, so I'm not going to be able to catch either of them up. But if they make contact, I can pick up the scraps, but I've also got to be wary of Kyle, who's only 3 tenths behind, so... As you can see now, we don't have slipstream. That's Spike pulling away from me because he's in the slipstream with DRS, so Crazy, and I'm just sitting here like a lemon with only DRS. Spike nice and late, slightly later than Crazy, but I suppose he was a bit defensive on Spike, so that's why he was a little slower. But here I'm just trying to get a good exit again. No, it's not really enough, but as you can see here, Crazy's pulling away from me without DRS. Not their fault that they've got slipstream and I haven't. I'm just saying that it's a really fucking shit game. Into the middle sector now, lap 18. It's just nothing made of those moves really. But you can see Crazy's got slightly wide into the last corner, or the second to last corner, whatever you want to call it. Spike says the fastest lap of the race, and this is possibly a move that we have on Crazy. But you can see DRS is open now, and Crazy's pulling away. Yeah. I don't have slipstream, unfortunately. Into turn 1, made side by side, and we're looking just to pick up the scraps. Just clean racing, but you know it can always be issues. And Crazy slow, is that opportunity? No. We've had to back off, and that's almost allowed Kyle to make a move. But we're just sitting here and waiting now. I put the bias to 60 to try and make something of this because I'm a bit fed up of sitting behind them. But there we go. We've got to leave room for Kyle there. He's looking to get the switch back on us. Can he do it? No, not quite. Lap 19, here we go again. Up the straight, Spike pits. Now, of course, Crazy will have DRS, but he won't have slipstream. But if you can see here, he doesn't actually... Oh, he does have DRS. Okay, no worries. Doesn't even have DRS there. But he does, but our lower wings allow us to pass him cleanly. 220 miles an hour again, see? So we haven't got slipstream. He does show the nose a little bit, so I left a little bit of room. But it seems to be a clean move at least. And we got through there, and his arrow is still quite close, but of course, I've got DRS. He might have DRS actually as well, but you can see the slipstream is closing up. Not quite enough. Oh, but he hasn't. What the fuck? Yeah, I think he just missed his braking point, to be honest with you. That's not Crazy Legs at all. Lucky I saw him coming and turned away, but you know, these things happen. Lap 21 now. Gap to Paul's in lead actually, not Spike. Gap to Paul was about 2 seconds, so he closed about a second. I knew he's really tough to battle, so I thought, like, I'll pit, because Spike pitted 2 laps before. I'll pit now, and it means I don't have to battle Paul on track, which means I don't lose time to everyone else. And of course, if Spike's pitted 2 laps before me, he's going to have a massive undercut. And sure enough, here comes Spike. Fastest lap of the race for Spike, UK 84, 1:19.7, and he's gone. So you can see where that big yellow circle is. And turn 1, he is approaching turn 1 now, so that's how much time I've lost.
Out with Paul, I don't want that.
Not good, not good at all. So Spike's got that gap now. I've just got to try and... I know he's 2 laps down on tyre wear, and this is Paul. We've got DRS on ET actually, and we managed to get past Paul. So the undercut's worked on Paul as well, and ET's just pulled to the left. He hasn't defended there at all. But yeah, Spike now has 2 lap pressure tyres, and we're just trying to make our way through these guys in the pack who are slightly out of sync. See what we can see what the end result is, where we end up when we're behind him. So that's Maze. As you can see, Spike is only 2.3 seconds up the road at this point. So I know that if he could be pushed for tyre wear at the end. So I'm looking to keep the pressure on him, but manage my tyres at the same time. 2.2. And that's just the plan really, just stick with him and see what happens. I'm happy with P2. But after a couple of laps I realised that Kyle was closing, so he had fresher tyres than both of us. And I thought, right, I've got to make a move here. So lap 33 at 36, Spike's starting to really struggle now. See the car moving around a little bit, especially there, you know, and there. So I thought, right, got to make a move. Little kick of oversteer there, but we've had a better exit than Spike has. He's had a big moment. Rich, DRS, I think I'm running less wings too, because as you can see I'm not catching up until I open the DRS, so there's definitely no slipstream. He's defending. We go down into turn 1, who can break the latest, and well, we managed to break the latest there. I suppose we're on slightly pressure tyres, we just had it on the outside just because that's the way Mexico is, you know, you can do that, and then we managed to just park it on the apex on the exit, and we managed to put enough of a gap that he can't get past because we've got the DRS and he hasn't, so that helped us a little bit. So lap 35, Spike put a good gap on Spike, but the thing is, Spike in the middle sector there gets a puncture, I think. I haven't spoken to him about it, but there's yellow flags and he's really slow, so, and then he pitted as well, so he pits at the end of the lap, and that puts him right out of contention. So lap 36, after having that contact I thought it was all over, but turns out we managed to come back because other people had issues, so that's good. Did get a penalty though, the least of the field, but still a penalty. But anyway, that is the Mexican Grand Prix, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.